All right, check this shit out, you guys. It's January, end of January here in San Diego. We had 5 inches of rain last week, so I'm out here checking some mushroom spots. Just getting started today. We had Santa Ana, so things are getting really dry really fast. But if I can find any more boletes to cook or anything else interesting to try, we'll try them. And if not, we're just looking for what's popping. So I already found this little cluster. I think this is a Cortinarius. We'll do a proper ID on them later. Getting kind of crusty, but it's a good sign. I just started this hike and they're already finding mushrooms. Here's a little dude. I think this is a Russula. It's got the really tough stem. I'm gonna use iNaturalist to identify everything I find, so I'll put the descriptions on the screen. This is not an edible, but it's cool to find. So iNaturalist is telling me this is a milk cap, and there's a really easy test you can do. You just cut the gills like that, and you see if it starts to ooze milk. It's dry, but it should still ooze some milk. I don't think that's it. I think this is a Russula, but iNaturalist isn't giving me that. Okay, here's something. This is an agaricus species, same genus as the button mushrooms that we eat, but there's 150 versions of this genus, so some of them are deadly toxic. This one is called the yellow stainer because if you just rub it, it really quickly starts to turn yellow. These are dry, so they're not going to stain as quickly, but you can see maybe the staining around the lip there. So we'll leave these guys, but they're looking good. Those agaricus are popping everywhere. There's a bunch. There's a bunch. Some more up in here. Here's something cool. I showed this in my last video. It's called the Western jack-o'-lantern. Like I said before, they're kind of a chanterelle look-alike because they're yellow, but they look nothing like chanterelles. They have true gills. These ones are getting old and crispy, and people will use these to dye clothing. It's pretty cool. I'm not gonna do that, but it's a cool mushroom. So when you're mushroom hunting, there's kind of the right habitat you're looking for. Mushrooms need a little bit of light and they need airflow. But like this little meadow thing is too open and bright, it just dries out. Mushrooms won't grow there. And then on this side, it gets kind of dense brush. And I typically don't find mushrooms in really dense stuff like that. So you're looking for something in between that. You're looking for space between the trees that you can hunt around under. Okay, here's a cool specimen. This is an oak-loving bolete. So it's got the red stain on the bottom. It's got the pores instead of gills. It's pretty old. These usually are a flatter surface, but it's already dropped its spore load. Okay, here's one I want to show you too. These are popping everywhere in San Diego right now, and they have kind of a yellow color like a chanterelle, but they have true gills. You can see the mycelial mass here. They have a veil. So this is not at all a chanterelle. If you're in San Diego and you're finding these, do not eat them. This is Lactarius, I think Lactarius xanthodermis. So these are really common here in San Diego. I don't know why. I'm seeing them everywhere. Don't eat those. I'll just show you this because it's kind of neat. These are the native manzanita trees, and they're in bloom right now. And they're dropping flower buds all over the ground. Looks like snow. The bees are loving it. Here's a nice, beautiful little guy. It's pretty small, but we have a lot of rain coming. I'm gonna go ahead and take these. I wanna make a meal, so I'm gonna take what I can find here. I'm gonna take my time, and then hope I can find some more up the trail. So not a huge haul here at all, and some of them are pretty dry. Maybe they'll rehydrate when I wash them. But I'm gonna keep looking. Maybe we'll find enough. It's a cool little bunch of mushrooms right here. iNaturalist says this is called bleachy ediloma. It's a nice big beefy boy, and it's supposed to smell like bleach. So if I'm gonna smell it, I usually smell the gills. That's where the aroma is usually most intense. Oh yeah, for sure, that smells like bleach. Wow, nature's weird. Okay, wow, this is a cool looking mushroom. I'm not sure what this is. Look at that, vibrant yellow, wow. Kind of overexposed. Let's identify that, that's exciting. All right, so I just looked this up. This is the oak-loving bolete. Same as I found it before, but this is a younger model where you can see the pores are intact. It's got kind of a red staining stem, I think. It's a gorgeous specimen. It's not reported to be edible, so I'm not gonna keep these, but man, it's just cool to find something so beautiful. And actually I came over here to get better light, and I found this little cluster of dudes. They've got kind of like a rose staining top. They've got true gills, so I'm gonna ID these real quick too. Okay, so these are called rosy brown waxy cap, also not edible. But these two cool little specimens right here in one spot. Really neat. Here's a cool specimen, also yellow like a chanterelle, but again has true gills. So this is a Gymnopolis, not good eats. Here's one that you can recognize just by the cap. This is a red russula. It's pretty dry. Usually the stem is really tough. They're gorgeous mushrooms. I've been seeing a lot of them in San Diego. Not edible. San Diego's wild. I'm up here in these meadows where they graze cattle. There's live oaks. There's turkeys up here, and then there's this huge patch of cactus. It's pretty cool. Varied ecosystem. Well, guys, it's not looking too good here. We found a lot of cool stuff. Not that much edible mushrooms. It is just so dry. We had that blast furnace weather pattern come through. We have some other rain coming, and it's going to be sustained, like half an inch a day for a week or two. That will be more conducive to really charging the mycelium with moisture. I'm just kind of like walking along these north-facing hills right now, kind of in oak meadows, and hoping that the north-facing hills have retained some moisture. Sometimes people ask you, especially if you tell them you've been out fishing or foraging or something, and they'll say, do you actually get enough calories to replace what you expended? And that's totally a valid concern for wild animals, right? Like, and prehistoric humans. The energy equation, you have to take in more energy than you expend, right? But I'm a modern man, that's not a problem for me. I've got this surplus calorie storage that I carry around with me, and I'm happy to spend more calories than I get. It's fun to get out here. This is my gym for the day. This is my training. So if I can get 5,000 or 10,000 steps, learn some new fungi, it's a good day. All right, guys, just pulled over to wrap this video up, and there's a couple of these much fresher, really beautiful looking red russulas here. Really beautiful red russulas. You might confuse these for the Santa Claus mushroom, the one that people like to get high off. That's Amanita muscaria, and it has white flecks on top, and it will have a partial veil, and it comes out of an egg. So that is an Amanita. This is a russula. There are edible russulas, but I've never found them. This one's a really nice specimen. It's actually still pretty fresh, but not good eats, so I'm gonna put that back. So that's kind of it for this one. I've kind of did a big loop around this whole meadow system. Up there where the cows are, there's no mushroom. I think they just tamped the ground down too much. So here, where I'm finding the good stuff is all in the mixed oak and manzanita with sage. And up there where it's grass and oak, there's really nothing. So this is kind of a good little hike. It was a good post-flood fungal survey. So I hope you enjoyed this one. Maybe you learned something about the mushrooms of San Diego County. If you made it this far, thanks for watching. Catch you on the next one, and we'll be back after this next storm. All right, see you guys.